It was the chronicler Gerald of Wales who claimed that the Plantagenet dynasty had a founder of distinctly unchristian origins, the devil himself. If Gerald feared this could be seen as an insult to the monarchy, he misjudged his audience. Richard I, who lived during Gerald's time, appeared to take pride in the accusation. According to legend, Richard once proclaimed, "My family came from the devil, and to the devil we will return." While the Plantagenets' actual ancestry was less dramatic, their family history embraced these legends for a reason. But first, a quick note. Welcome back to Lemmy History. This is new, still me, still my channel, but I thought you might enjoy a more personal touch. Someday, I'll share the story behind the name Lemmy. It's not really about the musician, but in a weird way, it is. Now back to the devil. The connection of the Plantagenet dynasty with the devil, or at least a creature of magic, depending on the tradition, can be traced back to either Raymond of Poitou or Geoffrey Greymantle, the Count of Anjou, who lived in the 10th century. Geoffrey is said to have fallen in love with a beautiful woman named Melusine. The two married and had several children. However, Geoffrey eventually grew suspicious of his wife's peculiar behavior during church services. Melusine consistently appeared bored and would leave before communion. When Geoffrey confronted her, she refused to explain. Determined to uncover the truth, Geoffrey ordered 4 guards to station themselves at the church doors during the next service, ensuring no one could leave. When Melusine discovered she was trapped, she let out a piercing scream, grabbed one of her sons, and revealed her true form, sprouting wings and flying out the window. She was never seen again. Geoffrey remained behind with their second son, Fulk, who became known as Fulk the Black, due to his fiery temperament, a trait that would come to define the Plantagenets. Unbeknownst to Geoffrey, he had married none other than the devil's daughter. A similar tale surrounds Raymond of Poitou. According to legend, he encountered a stunning woman, and like many Plantagenets after him, was determined to win her affections. However, Melusine refused to belong to any man outside of marriage. The story may sound familiar to some, as it is strongly reminiscent of a king from the time of the Wars of the Roses, who decided to marry for the same reason. Just like Elizabeth Woodville centuries later, the lady agreed, but on the condition that Raymond would never disturb her in the bathroom on a Saturday. This unusual request seemed simple enough, but over time, Raymond's curiosity got the better of him. One fateful Saturday, he spied on her during her bath and discovered the shocking truth. The lower half of her body was a serpent's tail. Melusine fled, never to return. In another version of this story, Raymond first encountered Melusine in the forest. The events unfolded similarly, with one notable addition. Melusine demanded a parcel of land as large as a deerskin could cover. Raymond complied, only to realize he'd been outwitted. Melusine cut the deerskin into thin strips, marking out a vast area of land. She built a castle there, naming it Lucinia after herself. This would later become the Lusinian family, whose lineage included a king of Jerusalem. One of the Lusinians, Isabella, married King John of England and bore numerous children, creating a connection to the Plantagenets. Melusine's stories often cast her as a water fairy, a mythical being that wasn't inherently evil but could possess dangerous traits. The tales surrounding her spread widely by the 13th century, further entwining her legend with the Plantagenets. In contrast to the mythical Melusine, Geoffrey Greymantle's actual life is better documented. He married Adela of Vermandois, with whom he had 3 children. Their second son, Geoffrey, died young, and Adela herself passed away 5 years before Geoffrey. These personal tragedies, combined with the Plantagenets' fiery tempers, provided fertile ground for legends like Melusine being the devil's daughter. For the Plantagenets, such tales were invaluable as propaganda. Gerald of Wales, in the service of King Henry II from 1184, emphasized the family's ability to overcome their demonic lineage and align with God. This was particularly significant for Henry, who faced doubts about his Christian leadership following the murder of Thomas Becket. The legend of Melusine became so embedded in Plantagenet lore that even in the Middle Ages people acknowledged its fictional elements while accepting its symbolic value. Sharon K. Penman later used the legend as the basis for her 2008 historical novel, Devil's Brood. These stories illustrate the fascinating way in which medieval myths and magical creatures could influence perceptions of reality and shape the legacy of powerful families. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel.